really grateful for my lovely husband who's being a roofer today. We have a bee problem.
I want you to know this is because of a bird problem.
Yeah, we actually opened this up because there was a bird nesting up in this area. And it is actually more of a bee problem than a bird problem. Oh boy. I am nervous to see what is underneath that side, because that side is the more open side. And I'm just shocked, ladies and gentlemen. Oh! So the plan is to shop vac all the hives out of there. And honestly, these pieces of flashing, I would assume that's what they are, they're plastic. I didn't know they were plastic, but now that I know that, that sucks, and I don't want to use that. I have this piece of metal that was just like in a pile. It's probably not going to be tall enough, but we'll see. We're trying not to go to the hardware store because this wasn't going to be a spend money project.
It's supposed to be 3 nails and it was fixed.
Yeah, that's not at all what happened. So now it's to vacuum out the bees, figure out how to close up these. Like, who would just leave that behind the plastic like that? That's terrible. Okay, I'm shocked that doesn't work. Do the little one to the right. Oh my god, that doesn't do anything. How? Wow. Honeycomb haul. Wasp nest haul. Look at this one, even has a dead one sticking out of it. I have no idea how that happened. And yes, I was absolutely terrified to touch it. But these all fell out. I knocked them out with a broom. Took one for the team. But they seem to be empty. So, except for this guy. Yeah, very, very cool. Let's see if we can hold it up to the light. Well, it's about 2.5, maybe 3 hours later. It looks the exact same, but I can tell you there are not going to be any birds nesting in there. It was really hard to figure out how to just wrap all of this up without leaving any gaps. But you did a good job, honey. Thank you. Welcome back to Niagara Garden Party. Today is Sunday, May 12th. I did a little bit of filming throughout the week, and it has been a really busy week here, so let me fill you in on what's been going on. First, though, I wanted to show you the new lights that I got for the garden. Here, check this out. They light up the yard so well at night. I absolutely love it. I just grabbed them off of Amazon. They're nothing special. It's just two 50-foot outdoor string lights. Now, let's take you around and show you what's been going on. So I planted my peppers and eggplants. They are doing okay. They are surviving is what I initially wanted to say, but I'd say more than surviving at this point. They're getting new growth points. This one looks like it's even budding. I'll probably end up topping this one and cutting it here. The eggplants are a little bit grumpy because it has been a little chilly out. We have toads in the pond. I had a toad living in my house over winter. He made his way into the house through one of my house plants in the soil, and it was too cold to release him. So I did release him back into this area a couple of weeks ago, but now I am noticing we are getting other toads in here. So this is going to be like the toad pond this summer, which is really friggin' cute. Don't spot him right now though. This guy had to be cut back a little bit. He's kind of encroaching on the two blueberry bushes here. The apple tree is starting to make apples. So all of the flower petals have fallen off. And here, this is a great example. These are starting. That is a little tiny baby apple right there. They'll turn into an apple. Lots of buds on this tree, so I'll have to thin them out. Going down this row, I did some baskets of nasturtiums. I'm sure these will get crazy this summer. The tomatoes that I planted are doing okay. You can see there's a little bit of dew on the leaves this morning. It's a little dewy. This guy is doing okay. This dead stick of a fig tree is coming back. I did not expect it to come back, but you can see it is. I was gonna pull it out of the ground this year, but I clearly can't touch it now. And I need to do a little bit of research to find out why this doesn't come back. Maybe I need to do like a wrap, like a frost wrap over winter. Here's a tomato guy right there. And my cucumbers, although sometimes looking a little wilty in the heat of the sun, today is very overcast and kind of chilly. So they are looking perky this morning and starting to grow too, like starting to shoot up instead of just looking the same. Because when you transplant something for the first week or two, it's just getting acclimated and figuring itself out. So nothing really happens. I had these 2 lavender bushes that were getting a little unruly last summer. So I cut them, and you usually wouldn't cut them back so far. Like this is right back to the woody base. But I do have some new growth happening, so I'm just gonna leave these to see what happens. If they don't come back proper, I'm not upset about pulling these out of here and putting something different here, maybe a little rock garden with succulents. Moving along, the peas are coming up in this little garden in here. They are just tiny right now. I direct seeded these guys, so I just put them in the ground. This guy, look at him. He's already grabbing on, reaching. Tons of peas popping here. And then these guys in here are onion starters. The garlic is still being garlic. I don't have any updates to show you there. I took some of these. My husband's dad gave us a bunch of these little like birch pieces, and the other day I screwed them into the corners here because when I come around these corners with the hose actually goes into this garden bed and just cuts everything off the top. So this way this kind of catches the hose, and I put them in a few different spots here around the garden that have been a problem with the hose before. The thyme and oregano are crazy, bushy, puffy, out of control. I think we're gonna get flowers from the columbine, which I'm very excited about. Look at this. That's some sort of a bud of some sort. That is some sort of a bud. So there's a few of them popping out like that. I'm really excited to see what color those are going to end up being. I put together what we call the Thunderdome for my husband. The squirrels have been going into the greenhouse and eating the walnuts that he started from seed, the walnut trees. So I put together this like chicken wire cage thing. This used to have strawberries in it, but it never really gave me a lot of strawberries. A whole bunch of stuff likes to hide underneath there. We need to put a piece of wood here and on the other side. But so far, the squirrels haven't been able to get in to the Thunderdome to eat any of these walnut tree saplings. So this is working out, and he'll probably end up using this to start more in the fall, more tree seedling sapling things. Okay, moving along. We have the beautiful fig tree is doing beautiful things, and this a beautiful tower also doing beautiful things. Let's spin it. Lots of greens. Down here are radishes. We've got a nice deep purple lettuce, some more radish. Some of my Swiss chard didn't make it, but that's okay. I also seeded this tower, so some things are a little bit behind. I just seeded it again recently. I had planted some celery on top, and there are a few celery survivors, but they're gonna take so long that I put in some lettuce seed in here as well. I did plant a little guy, tomato guy here. Here he is. He's gonna go up the trellis. And I do have to eventually pull this kale out of this corner that has gone to flower and is going to seed. So we gotta pull that out before that goes to seed, otherwise I'm gonna have kale all over here again. And we do not want the kale catastrophe, the kale-tastrophe. All right, let's hop into the greenhouse real quick, see what's going on in here. It's always loud in here with the fans and the radio because we try to keep the squirrels and the critters out of here. Oh, let me just turn this off so you can hear me. Okay, so I did a little rearranging in here. I brought some of my houseplants out here. The fire stick cactus is starting to be true to its name. It is looking very fiery. It also feels like it needs to be watered, so maybe I'll do that after this video. Some of my propagations and starters. This guy was started in the AeroGarden inside. Oh my gosh, he's got little flower buds on him. Shocking. These guys I started inside too. I don't have any space for them right now in the garden, but when I take that kale out of that corner, I'll probably put in some more of these eggplants or something like that. These are just cuttings that I took from the thyme and oregano. They seem to be doing really good. These guys have survived. We don't see any of them suffering yet, so that's good too. Tomatoes are coming along. They still have maybe 2 weeks. I'll probably list them on like Facebook Marketplace for super cheap just to get them out of here. Flowers are doing good. Flowers, the snapdragons are getting bigger. I should probably thin them out. And, ooh, we've got some other flowers. Something's never sprouted. That's bound to happen. Another tomato. And some more walnuts in the greenhouse. Even more walnuts. I've tried to start some hanging baskets from seed. So I did put some nasturtium seed directly into this basket. The ones you saw outside that I just showed you, I transplanted them from like starter pots that I started a couple of weeks ago. So I have a mixture of things going on here. I'm just trying to find out the best way to do things. And they seem happy and fine just getting direct seeded into these baskets. Same with these peas. See if these peas are successful in a hanging basket. And this is just another nasturtium starter right in there. This guy is a cherry tomato. And at the beginning of the video, you saw me working in this bed. I took all the kale out of here. We ate salads over the last few days. And in its place, I put these nasturtiums. I'm hoping they will climb and trail over this beautifully. And I have some peppers in here. That is a cucumber. And those two, I direct seeded in here. I don't need this rock anymore because he looks like he's finally grabbing my trellis. And I don't know which beans they are. I have no idea what kind of beans. But we'll find out together. We'll see. Carrots are still wild in over here. These guys are finally catching up. These ones I seeded in the spring. These ones I seeded last fall and they overwintered in here. But they're doing great. Trying to be patient so I get real carrots. This bed is a disaster still. Lots of greens. So a lot of this is kohlrabi. But none of it is bulbing yet. Which is fine because I can actually just eat the greens. I don't have to eat the bulbing part. But yeah, it looks like there might be some radishes in here too. Like this is a radish for sure. These are radishes, it looks like. And then the cucumbers at the back, they are finally putting out little, what are they called? What do you call those things? Little fingies. I don't know, cucumber fingers. That's going to grab that. And that's going to finally start to go up and trellis up there. This thing is still doing great. I bump into it all the time. I'm kind of hoping by putting it here, so all the stuff falling off of it is like the dead flowers. I'm kind of hoping it'll seed in this bed. And I'll just pluck out the little, rosemary, trailing rosemary seeds. But I think this thing is just so beautiful. Look at it. Isn't it gorgeous? It's like an octopus of rosemary. Moving over to the little tower here that I set up. The lettuce is doing good. Opal basil's coming along. The chamomile, really doing good. One marigold. I don't know what happened there, but at least we got one. The dill is happy in here and some more regular basil. So this tower is coming along pretty good. The garlic in here is also coming along pretty good, but Very large, very in charge. I think this variety is called music garlic, which I think was like bigger garlics. And then just to make the most of the space, I planted some more peas down here to go up this trellis. And that's where I'm going to end today's video. Thank you for coming along for today's update. Not a whole lot going on in the back garden right now. We're still doing a little bit of updates back there, trying to clean up some of the old yucky brush, some of the dead stuff. Yeah, my husband did a really great job sealing that up, and we don't have any birds nesting in there. Although we do have bees still trying to get in. Speaking of birds nesting, I will leave you on our mother dove. She has 2 eggs in there right now, so we are expecting dove babies any day. All right, you take care and we'll see you next Sunday.